Hello, and welcome to We Live for Saturday, your favorite college football podcast. I'm your co-host, Mike, and with me, as always, is your other co-host, John. John, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Not a fan of this weather, man. It's getting warm now, and we're not...
Is it March? Is that what it is now?
It sure feels like it.
It's slushy, it's wet, it's dirty, it's all kinds of things. Oh, I just screwed up.
Oh.
Phil was calling. I should have just put him on the pod.
Phil. Maybe he'll call back.
But I just declined it. I just declined it to voicemail because I was trying to make the sound stop. But I was like, so audience, since Phil doesn't listen long enough to know what we're talking about, we want to get Phil. Phil co-hosted one time, but he's better in his natural element.
He's good. He's great.
He's great. He's great when you get him going. So we were hoping to get him maybe like on a call and just like be like, you're on the pod now. And it just happened. He called.
Yeah.
But
and it's gonna happen one of these times.
It'll happen again.
Sure.
And next time,
yeah,
I will answer. I'll put him on speaker, put him up to the microphone, and we'll do it.
Oh, it's great. It's awesome. He's so much fun to listen to when he's just going off and
he hates Indiana and Signetti. I mean, he hates them. It's so funny. It's like genuinely hilarious.
Look, we're all jealous, man. I get it. But it's just funny to hear a Buckeye fan get jealous too. It's pretty wild. But again, we don't live in that world, so
exactly.
But yeah, man. No, as far as I know we talk about the weather. That's just what we do here to open up the pod. And here in Minnesota, it sure feels like March, and I'm not okay with it. And not to say
not okay with it.
Like I'm glad some of the ice is clearing here and there, but as far as just safety. But I do not like the fact that it just feels the way it does. It shouldn't be 40 degrees. It's January 7th. What are we doing? Come on.
Seriously, dude. I'm not. I mean, at least we got a white Christmas, right?
Yes, true.
So I'm clinging to that. We got the white Christmas. But yeah, I would like some powdery snow and not just when I was walking my dog this morning and the dog is like crunching.
Yep.
And like his paws, like her little paws are like, like going through because it's like a little ice on top of snow. And so that there's like a space. And so they're kind of like just going through and like the dog's all awkward. Like, how should I be walking? I'm like, I get it, man. Like 4 legs, that's got to be complicated.
That sucks. Absolutely. My dog, same thing, man. It's an issue and I feel bad for her, but Yeah. Well, anyway, aside from that though, things are all right. And, just looking forward to the games that are coming up. It's crazy that we're here. We're at the semifinals and
the penultimate weekend of the whole season.
It's nuts, man. And I know we're going to talk about it, dude, but they're, one of these 4 teams sure feels like a team of destiny. And I never, ever would have thought.
They kind of all feel like teams of destiny, right? So Indiana never won it, had the Heisman, has the whole, we talked about it a lot, the Cinderella season.
Sure.
Indiana's had, the best season that a downtrodden program has had in the history of college football. Full stop.
Yeah.
Ole Miss their coach abandoned them. They go 11-1. Their coach abandons them, or they go 10-2, whatever. They go 11-1, 10-2, whatever it was. Their coach abandons them, and they make a playoff run anyway, almost to spite him.
Yeah. They only lost 1 game. Yes. Yeah.
1 game. Yeah. And it's now they're like trying to spite Lane Kiffin, like by continuing to win. And it would be, look, I don't want Ole Miss to win. I've got them 4 out of 4 on my list of acceptable national champions.
Same.
But it would be really funny.
It would be.
Just for the Lane Kiffin. I mean, you would need somebody, I would pay like a private investigator to see his reaction in real time, like be peering through his window.
Yeah.
I just want to see him be like, just angry about it. This team he built that he didn't think was good enough proved that they were actually better without him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's so wild.
That would be, that would be never forgotten.
And
that would follow him around for the rest of his career.
Oh, absolutely. And to be honest, like if an SEC team were to win, as long as these are the circumstances, I can find a way to find it somewhat palatable. I mean, I wouldn't like it.
No, I wouldn't like it either.
But I could be like, you know what? At least it's a great story. So
then you've got Miami. It's been 25 years since they were this good again. Or I guess 24 years since they lost to Ohio State. 24 of 25 since they lost to Ohio State in the national title game. And they never recovered until now.
Yeah.
Not until Mario Cristobal. They had a lot of, Mark Richt wasn't have his. I mean, he wasn't bad. He was good, but like he wasn't great. And Al Golden kind of struggled, and they've had a lot of guys struggle.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like, and again, like, this program has always been good. There's always been stuff going on there.
Yeah, they've always been talented.
Exactly.
But it's like a small private school.
Yeah.
They don't fill their stadium. Like there's a lot of checks against them. So for them to suddenly be a powerhouse again in the modern era, I mean, have you seen the clips of Michael Irvin on the sideline?
No, I haven't. I've heard about Miami them. I've not seen them yet. No.
He is, dude. You think those guys don't care about who they played for and where they went to school?
They do.
Michael Irvin's been out of college for 35 years.
Yeah. Easily. Something like that.
40 years, something like that.
Yeah.
And he is down there living and dying on every down. Ray Lewis too.
Yeah.
Who probably got away with murdering a guy. That's a whole different podcast. It's a whole different podcast. We're not going to get into that. But it matters to those guys.
It does. Yeah.
It really and truly does.
Hey man, even murderers can love college football, dude.
There you go.
That's just the way
everybody loves college football. That's college football is king. Did you see actually on the? Oh, well, first of all, let me finish my thought with this. Okay, Oregon never won a national title ever. Have built and built and built, been up and down and up, but like mostly up, but like could never get over the hump. So that's kind of like the completion of like 20 years of Phil Knight, like a 20-year Phil Knight arc of investing in the program and like seeing it take off from the time Mike Bellotti hired Chip Kelly up until now.
Yeah.
And then, so wait, was that all four? No.
Yep.
Yeah, that was all four.
Yep.
Okay. So they all kind of are teams of destiny.
It's true.
There's
you're
no
right.
traditional power that's always there. There's no Ohio State. There's no Alabama. There's no Georgia. There's no Michigan.
Clemson. Nothing like that. Yeah. It's great, honestly. And this is great. Like, and this is what we wanted. And in a lot of this is the parody. And and I think it's again what we're here for, because you've talked about it. We talked about it before, and we're going to talk about this. I think we should just maybe transition into it right now, is that we want to emphasize that this is the story. And Indiana, frankly, is the story, of course.
Yes.
And unfortunately, there's a lot of places out there who are not making that the story. They're still trying to latch on to the SEC, even by utilizing the fact that the SEC is not great at all. And still like glossing over what's going on with the Big Ten and with Oregon and Indiana, and why, like, the Big Ten is now the best conference in college football. And there is no argument. There is none. It's gone.
Dude, Paul Feinbaum went on TV.
Exactly.
Paul Feinbaum went on TV, said he can't defend the SEC, said the Big Ten has passed them by.
Yep.
It was really telling, though, because he goes, my contract demands I disagree with you and say the SEC is supreme.
Mm-hmm.
That's telling on yourself.
Yep.
That's telling on yourself about what your job really is
on your network, man.
About what your job really is.
Yes.
And he's just like, but I can't. He's like, I can't defend it. I mean, dude, after we had the last pod where we said they were 2-6, they lost to Wake Forest. Mississippi State did.
Yeah.
So they ended up 2-7 in the postseason. 2-7, and both of those wins were Ole Miss.
Yeah. Yep.
Nobody else won. Just Ole Miss. I mean, I guess.
Well, Bama.
Bama, but they beat Georgia.
Yes.
They beat another. Nobody else won against an out-of-conference team.
Yes.
That's what I should say.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Just Ole Miss. That's it.
Yeah.
Because they beat Georgia the second time, Tulane. So, Texas beat Michigan. That's it.
Yes.
Man, Michigan always lets us down when we're this close to sweeping. Do you remember like 8 years ago when the Big Ten went 8-1, but Michigan got clowned by Jadeveon Clowney?
Well, oh my God. I mean, dude, he was
unreal.
I can still feel that hit, man. Like
when he burst through the line and body slammed the running back.
I thought his head flew off, man. It was his helmet, but it thought his whole, you would have thought like it would have made sense.
He was decapitated.
He decapitated him. I'd be like, yeah. After that hit, I wouldn't be surprised. And then Iowa somehow has always, not until this year, I guess they finally did it. But Iowa traditionally, I think, has always let us down too in one way. But overall, the Big Ten is dominating. Everyone looks great.
9-4 to 2-7. Just saying. That's pretty stark. That pretty much tells the story right there.
Absolutely, man. So I'm just, I'm very much like, I'm excited. I love the way things are going. I like that the recognition is starting to finally come in. We're going to see, like I said before, give it 3 months from now. I want to see what
they're going to pretend like this year never happened. Yeah. They're going to be like, oh, that was an aberration.
Yeah.
And it's like an aberration that happened 3 years in a row.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to see. I'm very intrigued to see how that goes.
I think the ESPN media are all going to pivot to that. The question is, will the people who work for CBS and Yahoo and NBC and ABC, I guess ABC is still ESPN, and Fox, are they going to finally admit that the SEC House of Straws thing or House of Cards thing is over? And like preseason, if you cannot preseason rank more SEC teams than Big Ten teams, you cannot. Not after this year. Not after how things have gone.
I'm also curious if, like, because the college football playoff is going to come back into the discussion of how they're going to change it, adding teams, what have you, who, the qualifiers and whatnot. And I'm, obviously Greg Sankey very recently said that the SEC should have 7 teams. Well, is that discussion now going to change on how many teams, like, the SEC should even have? Should we talk about that? Not now, but I'm just saying, I think that's the point that needs to be brought up as far as like
absolutely
qualifiers. Like
5 was too many this year.
Yep.
5 was too many.
Yep. So
flat out.
That needs to be taken into consideration moving forward as well. If the Big Ten is going to get penalized like that, or any other conference, frankly, so the SEC needs to you need to take a second look at all of it as well too when it comes to that conference. So it's good, man. It's all good. It's good for the sport. It's not just good for the Big Ten. It's good for the sport that the SEC is being exposed the way that it is. Period.
Oh, it's so good for the sport, and for the Big 12 to do as well as it has in the postseason also.
Yep.
And like I'm hearing national people being like, actually, the SEC is closer to the Big 12, and yes, they are.
It's true.
They absolutely are than they are to the Big 10 right now.
Yep.
The Big 10 proved it. They won all the games.
Yep.
They went out and won the games.
I mean, I really think it's Oregon and Indiana that's the national title, like, in my opinion. I mean, I know there's another game after it, but like, those are the 2 best teams left in the last 4. I know we got to see what happens on the field, but
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm scared Miami secretly could be the best on the right day.
They're the ones that I could see pulling it out.
Like, I don't see Ole Miss beating Oregon or Indiana at all.
No, I
don't think they're physical enough.
Yeah.
But Miami is.
Agreed.
And they have the best D-line probably in the country.
Yeah.
So, like, it's no joke to play them.
No.
I mean, what they did to Ohio State was, I know the breaks went their way, and they did in that game. But, like, still what they did was really impressive.
Oh, no, I am by no means, trying to minimize anything about that Miami's done. If anyone can do it out of the that aren't from the Big Ten, it's definitely going to be Miami, not Ole Miss. Miami's the one that does scare me the most, other than whoever wins Oregon, Indiana. So, but either way, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. I am going to be rooting for Miami against Ole Miss. I just obviously don't want the SEC getting to the national title. Yeah. So
for sure.
Yeah, man. So that's it. But is there any?
Who are you gonna be cheering for in the other game? Just kidding. You don't have to answer that. You don't have to answer that. We're a Big Ten pod. We are neutral. Oregon, Indiana, we're fully neutral. Fully neutral. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be fun. Either way, I think it'll be good. And look, in whatever Big Ten team wins, if they do, whether it's Oregon or Indiana, like, I'll be happy with the outcome.
And they'll have earned it. They'll have deserved it.
Absolutely.
They both had fantastic seasons.
Yep.
I mean, but between the 2 of them, they have 1 loss, and it was to the other one.
Yep.
So, they've taken care of business. We saw Oregon up close. They're terrifying.
Yes, they are.
But so is Indiana, man.
Mm-hmm.
So is Indiana.
Yeah.
You see, Mark Cuban came out and said he spent more money than he did last year in the portal.
Of course he did.
He's like, yeah, they're going to be a lot happier with me this year than last year. I'm like, you know what? Shut up. Mark Cuban. God. Just tilting the balance of college football in his greasy hands.
Yeah. Oh, man. The thing is I like Mark Cuban, actually. Like, I like him for a lot of other things. I'm just not as huge of a fan of him.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I get why people like him, right? I get why people like him. He's relatively personable, and he seems like more honest and self-aware than your average billionaire. But, like, You know what? We don't need to get into my feelings on Mark Cuban.
No. Let's just put it this way: there are no billionaires out there who I believe are truly good people. I'm not trying to say that about Mark Cuban. I just think he's the more palatable out of all the billionaires. He's the most palatable one. Let's put it that way.
Yes, he's in the bucket of yeah. I think we can leave it there. That's good.
There we
I like
go.
that. Oh man. No politics on the feed. No politics.
No.
We won't do it. We won't go there. But I will say before we get it. Yes. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You finish your thought.
I was gonna say we're gonna preview this Indiana, the Indiana Oregon Peach Bowl.
Yep.
And then we'll also preview Miami Ole Miss. We'll start with Indiana Oregon because that's the premier game. Even if it's the later game, that is the premier game. National podcasters. Looking at you, College Football Inquirer, you should be talking about that game first. That's the premier game.
Sure is.
Like on your podcast, like go like, oh, we're gonna do it in chronological or get out of here.
No.
Like, what are you doing? Stop it. You're just insulting everybody around.
Yeah.
Like mostly the Ducks and the Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Because I just think they deserve it more.
Well,
like flat out. Miami lost Miami's great story. They lost 2 games.
Yeah.
They lost 2 games. Ole Miss lost a game.
I just think there's just more interesting things to talk. Yes, we're biased, but there are more interesting things to talk about when it comes to Oregon and Indiana, period. It just is.
Yeah, because Miami's probably going to crush Ole Miss. Let's be real.
Yes.
Probably. Like Trinidad Chambliss, he'll make some plays, but like against that D line, he's going to be running for his life.
Absolutely. Yeah. No doubt.
So we'll talk Oregon, Indiana. Should we talk a little portal stuff first?
We can talk some portal stuff, and I would like to comment a little bit more since you talked about the National Football Inquirer about just like their you were mentioning before College Football Inquirer.
Yeah.
You were mentioning about how because we got to go on a little bit of a rant, having the season start earlier.
Oh my God, I was listening. So I had a really long drive yesterday, like 8 hours. So I was like, you run out of podcasts to listen to about college football. And it's the time of the year when I mostly want to be listening to college football podcasts when I'm listening to podcasts. So I did listen to like an episode and a half of the College Football Inquirer, and they went on an extended rant about how the real way to fix college football was to 1, get rid of conference championship games, and 2, move week 1 back a week. So week 0 would now be week 1. And the whole season would finish a week earlier. And I'm like, oh, so you want to steal the summer from us? Are you kidding me? And they're like, oh, this would fix all the problems. Fans wouldn't complain about that at all. I'll tell you what, where I want to be on August 21st, John? On the lake.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a sweaty football stadium when it's 90 degrees. I want to be on the water.
Yeah.
And I can tell you Minnesotans feel the same. And people in other parts of the country want to be doing stuff too. You want to be doing stuff when it's still summer while you can.
Absolutely.
Before the weather changes. And I don't like, man, say what you want. It's not fun to sit in a puddle of your own sweat when it's 90 degrees at a football game. So you're going to add another whole week when you're going to have 85, 90 plus, in the South, God knows how hot temperatures. And that's also like player safety.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing in a controlled practice where you can make sure your players stay enough hydrated all the time and whatever. That's harder to do in a game. And now you're going to add another hot weather game. And we already get like 3 hot because of climate change. We get like 3 hot home games a year. And that's enough for me, man.
Yeah.
Same. That's enough because all of September is warm now, pretty much.
Yep.
So we don't need a middle of August start. And then also from the player perspective, so then they got to all start fall camp in mid-July, where like it's just not good for anybody except for sports writers. And they act like, well, this will fix all the problems for everyone. And also, you know what? Some of us care who wins the conference title.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of us do. And if you were real fans, you would know that. You think that all anyone cares about is the national title. I want to see the conference championship games and see a conference champion crowned. Because otherwise you're going to have a bunch of ties, and that's just not that satisfying.
Yeah. Again, these people, the vast majority of them they're so in bed with the networks and the corporate aspect of it that they're not there for the fans anymore. Their whole job is to, just like Paul Feinbaum said, he is contractually obligated to shill for the network, for the corporation, whoever is paying, signing his paychecks. He's not there for you as a fan. No. And so many of these guys are not here for you as a fan. For anyone out there listening, and that's what we try to do. That's what other independent podcasts try to do, is to be there for you as a fan. And that's why we want your support for us, support for other independent podcasts out there, because that's what it's about, man. It's about you. And it's not about these people who are just trying to continue to make more money for themselves and just to be lazy and not have to think or report on things and dig into stuff that they don't maybe know about, or players or coaches or teams, what have you. Like, that they have to actually do the freaking work. They want the narrative to stay the same every single year. That's why the SEC not being the best conference anymore is difficult, and it's a hard pill for them to swallow, because it means they're going to have to learn new stuff, and that sucks. I don't want to do that. I just want to collect my paycheck and go home and regurgitate the same thing every single year for the past 20 plus years. That's what they want.
Stephen Gottfried even tried to say that the SEC teams don't care as much in the bowl games, but then he also then flipped it and said Tennessee cared a lot and it was a really bad loss for them. And I'm like, you can't have it both ways. And you can't claim that anymore, because they don't have any more opt-outs than the Big Ten teams do on average.
Yeah.
In fact, we saw a Michigan team, not this year, but last year, a Michigan team with more opt-outs than Alabama win head-to-head.
Yep.
So that's just not an excuse anymore. Teams take the bowl seriously. It's the last thing you show before the portal starts.
Yep.
You don't think it matters how teams perform in a bowl game when you're trying to woo players, and like you're going to be competing with people who are all offering a similar amount of money, and you got to convince them that you're the best option? That extra win or loss, that extra good or bad performance, that matters.
Yes, it does. Yes, it
does. It matters. In some ways, it matters more now than it used
to.
With the portal being when it is.
Yep.
So yeah, I reject that entirely, and I just, it's just cope. It's cope for not wanting to admit that the SEC is getting, it's just not, the coaching isn't as good as it is in the Big Ten.
True.
It's just not. The depth of it. You have a lot more SEC coaches where you'd be like, is that really the right guy, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas in the Big Ten, most of those guys have been cleared out.
Mm-hmm.
Even the guys I have like the most questions about at this point, like Pat Fitzgerald, is proven.
Yeah.
And I have questions about him, but like, yeah. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. But yeah, the point is those guys, they don't work for ESPN. So they should not be like, again, when we start pre-ranking teams, it's the laziest thing in the world to do is to go look at the high school recruiting rankings and like a couple portal acquisitions and call that good enough.
Yep.
That's not research.
Yeah.
You got to actually know the rosters and have like an idea of like what the production these coaches usually get out of this position and all that kind of stuff. And there's like a whole depth of analysis you need to do that's just way past what you guys are willing to do.
Well, and there have been guys that vote on that kind of stuff recently over the last year or two that I've heard that have had the guts to come out and basically say, the vast majority of people who vote on those preseason rankings or what have you, like, they don't do the work. They go back, they check a couple things like you just said, and they make their decision based off of a very limited amount of information and little to no research. And then they just do it. And because it's easy and it's lazy. Yeah. And so there are definitely some who do the work, but there's not as many as you think.
And again, the beat writers don't have time to study other teams besides the one they cover.
Yeah.
They don't have time. So when they vote in the AP top 25, they're going by what the media is spoon feeding them.
Yep.
And if the media is spoon feeding them a pro SEC narrative, that shows up in the rankings. And that's been true for like 20 years. So we just want to see it end. We just want to see that end.
Yep.
Just want to see the end of that. Be honest. At the beginning of the season, be like the SEC and the Big Ten are probably the best conferences, but we don't know that 100% for sure. And based on recent history, the Big Ten probably has a slight upper hand.
Yep. And that's it. That's all we want.
That's it. That's all we're saying. We're not saying that the SEC is going to go away or disappear or be irrelevant or any of that stuff. We're just saying that right now the Big Ten is better on the field because it is.
Yeah.
And that's true not just at the top, it's through the middle and the bottom.
Mm-hmm. And who knows, maybe next year that changes and we can be open to that possibility. So
it easily could.
Let's just not establish, though, right off the bat that it's the SEC or no.
Let's not rank 10 SEC teams in the preseason because that's just ridiculous.
Yep, exactly.
It's just absurd. And we proved that with how, like, Paul Feinbaum said it himself. He said that a lot of the teams they were counting as quality losses ended up losing their bowl games in embarrassing fashion.
Yep, there you go. So. Yeah. All right. Thank you for our TED Talk, our rant against the SEC and ESPN, all that. Thank you. So
appreciate you for listening to that. Let's talk a little portal stuff and then get into these games because I know your time is limited today.
Yes.
Dude, I feel really bad for Washington.
Oh, bro. I know.
Washington fans, they've been through so many head coaches recently and so many different players and systems and whatever. And then you finally get Jedd Fisch to stay.
Yeah.
And you get Damon Williams last week to re-sign for like a hefty, I want to say like $4 million or something, like a lot.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Like a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like a very good money. And that's supposed to be the end of it. You're in the transfer portal. You transferred. You say where you're transferring.
Done.
Call it good. You move on. Everybody's. And then at a time, and I can't emphasize this enough, the Husky football team, when Damon Williams decided to announce that he is leaving via the transfer portal, even though he signed a deal to return. So he's reneging on that. He's, and he announces this. Well, most of the football team is at a funeral for a soccer player at Washington who tragically died. And he decides to make the funeral all about himself and be like, this is Damon time. And I'm going for a bigger bag, and I'm not going to Washington anymore. And I just the greed of it. And it's like, it's Lane. And the word is that sounds like he's going to end up at LSU with Lane Kiffin, because Lane Kiffin thought that Trinidad Chambliss was going to follow him from Ole Miss to LSU. Trinidad Chambliss said, no, thanks. I'm staying at Ole Miss, which good for him, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that Trinidad Chambliss is going back to Ole Miss. That's if he wins his injunction, because he was at D2. So he's trying to get those years thrown out. So if he wins his injunction and is able to play next year, he's going to be at Ole Miss. And Lane Kiffin did not take that well. And he started to worry he wasn't going to have a quarterback. And so instead of going out and dealing with the quarterback still in the portal, Lane Kiffin decided he needed to have somebody that was already committed to another team and signed to another team. And the thing is, when you re-sign with your team, they stop looking for your position.
Yep.
Like, oh, we have a starting quarterback. We don't need to look for a starting quarterback. And then in the meantime, in the days since then, the week since then or whatever, all these quarterbacks have gone to different schools and signed. So now, you put Washington between a rock and a hard place. And it looks like they're going to get Noah Fafita from Arizona, who played for Jedd Fisch at Arizona.
I mean, not bad. Not bad.
No, he's not bad. He's not great.
No.
But he's not bad. He was good when he had he was good when he had a really good receiver, but he has not been. Fafita has not been as good in recent years. Sorry, who'd you ask about?
Is Bo Pribula still available?
Yes, he was on a visit yesterday, I believe, to Nebraska.
When Nebraska went with Calandria.
They went with Calandria, but they were both on campus.
Yeah.
So Bo Pribula is still out there. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, like another program that had to deal with the exact same thing. Signed their quarterback and then had to go look for somebody else. Nebraska, same situation. This stuff is crazy. And it's,
it's awful. It's bad for the sport.
They're getting paid too much money. And when like the fans get shamed or other people come out and say things, like when they're upset with these players and they're just kids, they're they're like, sure, fine. But they need to be treated like adults and and suffer some of those consequences, especially when they're getting paid that much by NIL, by fans that are supporting this NIL, all this kind of stuff. Like, you're investing in this, and you and I are going to talk about something that's more close personal to us as well, I'm sure, after this. But look, man, I'm not a fan of it. I am in favor of players getting paid, 100%.
Yes,
but there needs to be contracts. Like
they need to be employees.
Yes, that's what it is.
Employees with multi-year contracts and a collective bargaining agreement and all that stuff. But the coaches don't want that, and the administrators don't want that because their salaries are going to go down. Because if there's a collective bargaining agreement, the players are going to make most of the money.
Yeah.
And their cut as a coach, like I heard one analyst say that if they worked out based on what they're making now, that coaches would be making like 1/10 of what they're making now. So like guys who are making $10 million are making $1 million. Guys who are making 7.5 are making like 750,000. So like that's an enormous difference. And it'll, it's going to take some coaches who realize that they've been exploiting these players and the players deserve the money to come out and say, yeah, you should cut my salary. Yeah, I should get paid less than this and the players should be paid more.
Yeah.
I don't know what coach is going to be that selfless. I haven't seen one yet. No. But like it's going to take that because ultimately the only way you get consistency in the roster is if these guys have 2 to 3 year contracts out of high school.
Yeah.
And then either they have to be there the whole contract, or if you're, if a player bolts, then the team gets paid by the new team a buyout. Yeah. So they can take that buyout money and go get other players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we talk, personally with us, obviously it's Coy Parrish, which he's now being looked at to go to Texas Tech or
former superstar Minnesota safety Coy Parrish is visiting Texas Tech in Oregon. But what I'm reading is that Oregon doesn't actually want him that much.
Which
and
doesn't actually surprise me.
No. And you know what? I bet you Coy is going to end up with not as much money as he was going to make here. It's totally possible.
And he will not be playing.
He was going to be making 7 figures here. And like maybe Texas Tech will pay him that. But if they don't have anyone bidding against them, then are they? Or are they going to pay him less? Are they going to lowball him?
That's a possibility. And also you cannot tell me that he will get reps on offense and he may not even be on special teams either. Like,
he's not going to be kicking. He's not going to be returning punts and kicks. He's not going to be playing offense. He's not going to be the favorite of the student section. There were 2 separate games when all the cups in the stadium that were sold. Think of it. 50,000 people. All the cups sold had Coy's face on them, and they all went to his NIL. The profits.
Yep.
Like the U did everything for Coy, and he said F you anyway.
Yep.
And you know what though? Like credit to the Minnesota coaching staff. They have pivoted and gotten some really good guys.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did.
Gotten some really good guys in the portal at corner, at defensive end, at offensive tackle. They have gone and gotten guys who are proven production and or high upside guys.
Yeah.
And they've closed on them. They got a really good defensive end from Cal. They've gotten a bunch of good players. So PJ Fleck had a plan. I think he must have known Coy was. And honestly, if the rumors are true, Coy wasn't working that hard this year. Like the coaching staff probably knew he had a foot out the door.
Yeah, I'm sure they had a pretty good inkling on that as well. You could kind of tell the vibes around the campus and whatnot. I'm sure within Stadium Village or whatever it was that seemed to be moving in that direction, and you could see it on the field and how he played. So I'm not. No
one's gonna be chanting your name anymore, though, Coy. Just so you know.
I mean, look, man. I don't. Yes, it sucks, in a lot of ways, but at the same time, I think Minnesota might be better off in some ways. I'm not saying it's not a loss.
They'll be deeper.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not a loss.
No,
but it may not
turning one really high upside guy into like 4 or 5 other guys.
Exactly. That may not have as high of an upside, but they're still going to be really good players.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dude, Minnesota is going to be really good on the defensive line next year. They got a really good 1-tech D tackle.
Yeah.
If they can find a 3-tech starting D tackle, like this could be one of the best. The defensive ends are deep and awesome.
Yeah.
So this could be one of the best pass rushing teams in the conference next year. Again, they led the Big Ten in the sacks this year. They could be even better next year, truthfully.
Yeah. And
go ahead.
Story is that it can work out. Coy may have a fantastic career. He may, I fully expect him to, if he does put in the work and get better at what, especially freaking tackling, he'll have,
and he's got to know where he is in zone coverage too.
Well, there's that too. Yeah.
That guy had a lot of blown coverages.
He has there could be a path to the NFL. Let's put it that way.
Yes, he's got that kind of upside. He showed it as a freshman.
Yeah.
He showed it as a freshman. He was really good. He was that good as a freshman.
Yep. So we'll see. But yeah, man. But let's get into these games.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So first of all, we'll start with the more important game, not the chronologically early game. We have on Friday, January 9th, the number 5 ranked 13-1 Oregon Ducks against the number 1 ranked 14-0 Indiana Hoosiers. This is a 6:30 p.m. game on ESPN. The line is started as IU -4. Now it's IU by 3.5. So the line has moved slightly in Oregon's direction. Oregon also will notably be without their second best running back, Davison. So he's not playing. That hurts. He's your goal. He's your goal line back.
Yeah.
And he's a good player. Now on the other side, you can just say, well, that's more carries for Noah Whittington and De'Aaron Hill. Okay. Like, it's not the end of the world for Oregon.
No.
Not the end of the world, but it is something to note. When they get into short yardage situations, are they going to be able to convert?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's something to watch, I think, in this game for sure.
Not to mention the offensive and defensive coordinators having a whole other thing on their minds and having to prepare for and transfer portal and recruiting now that they are head coaches at 2 different universities.
So we're talking about Oregon offensive coordinator Will Stein, who is now the head coach at Kentucky.
Yeah.
And Oregon defensive coordinator Tosh Lapoy, who is now the head coach at Cal.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys have whole programs to run, and they also need to get getting ready for this game.
Yeah.
Whereas for Indiana, you know, Bryant Haynes at defensive coordinator, Mike Shanahan at O coordinator, those guys are coming back to IU next year.
Yep.
They don't have divided attention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and also remember, so they don't have divided attention. I saw Signetti said that it's really hard to host recruits, that he's spending more time at the office than he usually does because, you know, he has to host recruits and also prepare for this game.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what happens when you win. You get good problems. Those are the good problems to have. And Indiana, man, we should say, has been crushing it in the portal.
Jeez. Yeah, they have.
I mean, Mark Cuban came out and said he donated some money, and he must have. Because they got kind of their first choice at a bunch of positions. So Kurt Signetti wanted to get old. I think he wants to stay old. I think that's going to be Kurt Signetti. He's always going to recruit from high school. But it seems like Indiana is going to be a team that goes pretty portal heavy every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
For most people, that's a problem. But if you're a wizard like Kurt Signetti, you can turn water into wine.
Mm-hmm.
So
best talent evaluator in the business, man.
In the game. He's the best talent evaluator in the game. I think he's the best head coach in the game.
Yep.
So I give Dan Lanning's a great coach, right?
Yes.
But he struggled in big games. He lost the 2 big games against Washington a couple years ago. He lost to Washington, I think, 3 times in 18 months or something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or in 12 months or something in a calendar year. He hasn't, you know, didn't have his team ready for what Indiana had last time.
Yeah.
Because it ended up, I think, being 30-20, but 7 of those points were on a pick 6. So Oregon only scored 13 points against Indiana. And it's worth noting that Dante Moore, quarterback for Oregon, has been sacked 15 times all year. 6 of them were against Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
That said, Oregon ran the ball well against Indiana from the running back position. It didn't look good because of all the sacks, so the yardage looked not as good, but they were running for, 6, 7, 8 yards a carry.
Yeah.
I think Dante Moore, as good as he is, will make some mistakes. And against that Bryant Haynes defense, it looked like there were times when Dante Moore faded, because a lot of the sacks, you go back and look at that game, a lot of the sacks were coverage sacks. They weren't. And also, hey, everybody in the chat, if you want to comment something, we're free to, we'll interact with you as well. Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of you in here. So if you are interested in saying anything about these games, about college football in general, transfer portal, please do. If you just want to listen to us talk, we can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's where we are at with that. But Dante Moore looked, a lot of those sacks were coverage sacks.
Yeah. They
were like, Dante Moore went back thinking he had one thing, and then he got confused and didn't know where to go with the ball and ended up sacked. So if I'm Oregon, I want to limit the amount of drop back passes where Dante Moore has to read the whole defense.
Yep.
I want to do some play action passes. I want to do some sprint out stuff, move the pocket. But mostly, I want to run the ball. And I think if Oregon is smart, they're going to focus on running the ball in this game. That slows the game down. It keeps Fernando Mendoza and Elijah Surratt off the field. Omar Cooper, Charlie Becker, all of them. Keeps them off the field.
Yeah.
The running game also with Black and Hemby keeps them off the field. So if I'm Oregon, I'm trying to win up front. I'm trying to run the ball. I'm trying to be really efficient. And no, you have to score. You can't score field goals. You got to score touchdowns.
Yep.
And because Indiana they're tough, man, and it's hard to take deep shots against them. Now on the flip side, Dante Moore has the highest deep ball percentage in the country. He's completing like 63% of his passes of 20 yards or more, which is insane.
Yeah,
which is insane. But against Indiana, that didn't really pan out. So I don't know, man. It's really interesting because everything in my head is telling me, and my gut is telling me that Indiana is going to win this game. But there's a little voice in the back of my head that's like, if Oregon can run the ball, they can win.
I mean, look, obviously with the talent on the field, Oregon has the talent to win this game. They just do. They absolutely do.
Yes.
They could win this game. Dan Lanning comes out with the right kind of game plan. They execute the way they need to. It is definitely a game Oregon can win. My thing, and I've I've listened to a couple other podcasts talk about this, and I was looking at, kind of looking back at the Texas Tech game, which of course Oregon shut out Texas Tech. That's really great.
They didn't score much though.
That's the point I'm trying to make here exactly, is that the two touchdowns that Oregon scored, the first one was off a strip sack. So they had a short field.
6 yards. Yeah.
6 yards. So that's what got their first touchdown. And then their second was garbage time.
Yeah. So they basically didn't score. They basically didn't score a touchdown.
It's just kind of, it's not impressive. I know Dante Moore put up 234 yards during that game with a 7.1 yard average, but he threw a pick, and he looked uncomfortable because Texas Tech was making him uncomfortable that whole game. And if you continue to keep him on his heels to a point, he's going to make mistakes. And he's a fantastic quarterback when he's got protection, but that Oregon offensive line, that pass protection has not always been fantastic. It's obviously not been solid consistently this year. So I agree, man. I think that if you can find a way to run the ball, and if their run blocking is better than their pass pro, then yeah, man, you got to lean on Whittington. You got to lean on De'Aaron Hill. Like, you got to do that. And so you can maybe give Dante Moore some of, like you said, those play action passes, and be able to get it down and stretch the field a little bit from time to time, because they have weapons downfield. But
DeCorian Moore, they have. Yeah. I mean, they got guys.
They do. So I mean, again, do I think that Oregon can win this game? Absolutely.
Kenyon Sadiq, McClellan, Moore. Yeah. I mean, Kenyon Sadiq, dude, that guy.
Oh,
guy's unbelievable.
He's a freak on.
I'm looking for him this game to have a big game. He needs to step up, because he needs to prove he's better than anybody at linebacker or safety that they can put on him.
Yep. I mean,
I think he can.
Just a beast. Yeah, I think so too. So, look, but I gotta go though. I mean, I gotta say though, all that being said, a lot has to go right for Oregon to win.
Yeah, Fernando Mendoza doesn't make mistakes, man. He doesn't make mistakes.
That's what I'm saying.
He makes plays.
And it's like,
make mistakes.
And it's Curt Cignetti, bro. Like, I mean, to me, and I was listening to the Solid Verbal earlier today, and they said this. This feels like how you used to feel when Nick Saban was on the field with Alabama. You were like,
very Saban-ish.
You felt that, like, oh, they're going to figure it out, because Nick Saban always figures it out. And that's how this feels with Curt Cignetti. And I agree with the guys on Solid Verbal that this is how it feels, and it's freaking terrifying.
I mean, to beat Alabama the way they did. To beat Ohio State the way they did.
Yeah.
Scoo in the chat says, Hoosiers! Double exclamation point. And yeah! Double exclamation point.
Heck yeah.
One for both playoff wins. Or I guess it's just the one playoff win, but they had I'm counting the Ohio State as it's a postseason win.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But, no, I'm with you. A lot of things have to go right for Oregon. Dante Moore can't make the mistakes. He can't throw picks.
No.
He cannot. Nope. And
he's
thrown
play a perfect
picks
game
recently. He threw 2 picks against Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Can't happen.
Yeah.
They got to run the ball effectively. Honestly, if Oregon wins this game, I think it's going to be because they ran for like 250 yards and only threw it like 23 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not 30, 35. No. Like, run the ball, lean on your running game, have your quarterback make plays when you need them, kind of thing.
Yep.
And hit them with some play action and see if you can get them in that and get them overplaying the run once you establish the run.
Yep.
Because if they come out and try to put it on Dante Moore, man, I just think Bryant Haynes is a wizard as a defensive coordinator. Like, what they do pre-snap and post-snap. Like, they show one coverage and then they're in a different one, and it's like, but they're on like different coverages on different sides of the field, and like you think the blitz is coming from the left, but it's actually coming from the right. It's actually coming from the left. Like, there's a lot for a quarterback to think about.
Yeah,
don't make Dante think that much.
Well,
make the reads easier. Yeah. Make the reads easier. Run the ball a lot. Give him move the pocket so he has a run option.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and tell him to get first downs over making, dangerous plays.
Yep.
If you do all of those things and stop the run a little bit, because you can't let you can't do what Alabama did. They just got run over.
Yeah.
They got run over.
Yep.
Indiana physically just made them look small. They made them look ineffectual up front, and they ran on them. It's got to be a thing where Oregon just plays. They have to play better offensively. And here's the problem. Against the best teams, they haven't. So Texas Tech, obviously, we talked about their struggles offensively against them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Iowa, 18 points. IU, 13 offensive points. Penn State, they scored 30, but 13 of those were in overtime.
Yeah.
17 offensive points against Penn State. When they played the better defenses they saw this year, Oregon has really struggled offensively.
Yep.
And that is why I think it's going to be hard to beat Indiana, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be really hard. Fernando Mendoza is as great. Dante Moore might be the number 1 pick in next year's NFL draft, but Fernando Mendoza is the best quarterback in college football.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
And his ability to, he's like Dante Moore. He can extend plays, but I think he's more accurate on the run than Moore is.
He's got a better football IQ, man. He's just a smarter player.
He really
is. He just is.
He's really tough.
He sees the field. He sees every moving piece, and you can tell the game slows down for him. Yeah, it just does. He's one of those guys.
It's like watching Tom Brady in his prime or something.
Exactly.
Like he knows. He's like, oh, I'm gonna manipulate the safety here, and then I'm gonna look off the guy here, and then I'm gonna turn back, and he's gonna be there, and I'm gonna hit him.
Yep.
And he just does stuff like that over. And when the play breaks down, he just runs. I think he's more like an antelope than a baby giraffe. Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah.
He's 6'5", man. He's hard to catch. It's hard to catch guys who are that tall if they can run at all, and he can run.
Yep.
And then that running game has been so efficient for Indiana.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why Pat Coogan, the center, got MVP of the Rose Bowl, because of how dominant the Indiana run game has been.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at that Alabama box score. Indiana ran for 215 yards. Against
a Bama defense, man. Yeah.
Against an Alabama defense.
Yep.
215 yards. And they, on over 4, it wasn't and they ran it 50 times. 50. So Oregon kind of has to out Indiana in the run game.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Because if you can ask Dante Moore to make plays and whatever, but you can't ask him to carry the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
He just can't. He's not. I don't think he's equipped to do it.
Yeah.
Not against this defense. Against a lot of teams, yes, sure. Against this defense, no. You're going to need to run the ball. This might be a really fast game, John, now that I think about it. This might be 2 teams. This might be like Minnesota, Wisconsin, 2 teams that want to run the ball. Late in the season, just trying to do it.
But again, if that's the case, though, who in the trenches, who do you trust more?
Indiana.
There you go.
Dude, Mikhail Kamara had like 7 hurries last game.
Mm-hmm. I think Indiana is just they
and their linebackers don't miss the run fits ever.
Yeah,
like ever.
I know.
So it's like every yard you have to run over a linebacker to get it, or juke him in the hole or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's never like you get to the second level and then you get to make a cut. You know, it's like you run a guy over and you get like 3 yards, and you're proud of yourself because you ran hard, but it didn't move the needle very much.
Yeah.
But again, Oregon in the first game against Indiana ran the ball effectively.
Yeah.
I just think they need to run it more.
Yep.
I think they need to run it more. I do. You look at that first, yeah. I really and truly do. You look at that first game, and Indiana ran the ball 37 times to 30 for Oregon. So you got to run the ball as often as Indiana does. You have to.
Yeah.
You can't ask Dante Moore to throw it 30 times. You can't do it.
Yeah.
You got to run the ball 35, 40 times.
Yeah, I just...
Is Dan Lanning willing to do that?
Yeah.
Or is he going to get all Lincoln Riley on us?
That's it. Can he get out of his own way? That's what I was just going to say. And like, do I think Dan Lanning is a better coach than Lincoln Riley and has the ability to
yes.
Do that? Yes. But
yes, absolutely.
But it doesn't mean he doesn't make those mistakes sometimes. He does.
No, it does not.
And Curt Cignetti he's the freaking Terminator, man. Like, he doesn't miss. He doesn't make mistakes. I mean, although I guess the Terminator did miss a lot in the movies, but that's beside the point.
Sure.
You get what I'm saying?
He's an unstoppable force. What you're saying?
He's an unstoppable force. He just keeps coming. And even when he's down, he keeps coming. And so it's I just have no reason not to think right now, as things stand today, to not believe that Curt Cignetti isn't going to win this game.
Oh yeah.
I just don't.
I think his whole life's been leading up to this game.
Yes. And
this is his chance to, knock off the biggest obstacle in between him and a national title.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude,
yep.
Indiana wins. I don't even know what to say if Indiana wins the national.
I don't think anyone does. I don't think anyone is truly prepared for it. I think everyone,
even though we all think it's going to happen.
Yeah, we're all still like, I don't know. I don't think there's anyone who has something lined up that they really are going to know how to fully explain this. Everyone is going to be just as dumbfounded and like, how did this miracle happen? This is like we said in the last podcast, it was what somebody said like 35 years ago, something on this scale happened in sports, any sport. So
like maybe the first time the U.S. women won the world in soccer or something, in the 90s when Brandy Chastain ripped her shirt off, like like that.
It was something
coming out of nowhere and just winning something huge.
2 years. 2 years.
Greatest coach of all time.
There's no question.
In the modern era. But
if he retires after this year, I'm still saying he's the best.
But
coach
he's going to coach another 10 to 15.
Unfortunately for everyone else,
you can tell because he dyes his hair now.
He just enjoys it too much.
Shout out Solid Verbal for pointing that out to me, and I was like, "Oh, he does dye his hair. You're right." But you know what? Whatever. Be whatever hair color you want to be, Curt.
Hell yeah,
dude. Ryan Day can dye his beard. You can dye your hair.
Yeah, man. I mean, he could come out there with blue, pink, purple, whatever you name it, man. And as long as he's winning football games,
if he did?
Nobody in Bloomington's gonna care. No one.
No one.
I wouldn't. I'd be like,
no one at all.
Come out with a freaking mohawk, bro. I don't care.
Dude, how funny is the pre-national title press conference gonna be if it's Curt Cignetti and Mario Cristobal?
Dude,
it's gonna be so funny.
It'd be hilarious.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna watch the whole thing. I don't always watch those things. I would watch that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you need to go in 5 minutes. We haven't discussed Ole Miss, and we have not discussed Ole Miss in Miami yet. So we promised the people we talk about a little bit. Should we finish on that?
Yeah.
We need to give our scores. First of all, what do you have for a score?
I have Indiana 28, No.
Gosh. I'll go first.
All right. Yeah, you go first. Let me.
I've got the Indiana Hoosiers 27.
Okay.
The Oregon Ducks 20. I think it's close. I think Oregon puts up a fight. I think they make plays early. They might even be ahead at halftime. But eventually they're going to figure how to make Dante Moore make a crippling mistake. And I think Dante Moore is going to throw an interception when he absolutely cannot afford to have it.
All right. You know what? I have Indiana 30 to Oregon 20.
So the same score as last time?
I do think that it's going to be like,
wow. If you call your shot, it's the exact same as last time. That would be wild.
I just don't see them scoring more than 20 points. I just don't see it.
No, not against this defense.
I'm not saying that's exactly the score. I mean, I am, but I'm not like, I just don't see it past 20. I
hear what you're saying.
It could be 17. It could be 20. I just don't see it going past 20 points. I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
No, especially if it's if like we said, it's a game where both teams run the ball a lot and there aren't as many possessions. Yeah, I'm with you. Scoo in the chat says, should have asked about the Oregon injury to Davison, Oregon players in the portal. Thanks, guys. Oregon, he's out. Davison's not playing. So we did mention that. So that's no good for them. All right. Do you want to hear my quick breakdown of this before you have to go? Of what do you call it? Of Miami and
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Go.
So let's see. This game is on Thursday. We can talk about the Thursday-Friday thing in another pod and how ridiculous that is.
It is
like
dumb.
To be that afraid of the NFL is so ridiculous.
So stupid.
But number 10, 12-2 Miami, against number 6, 13-1 Ole Miss, Thursday, January 8th. This is a 6:30 p.m. game on ESPN, and the line is Miami by 3.5. So I don't really believe in Carson Beck, whereas I do in Trinidad Chambliss. And so normally I would want to go with Ole Miss here. And I do think they have an advantage. Charlie Weiss Jr. is continuing as OC throughout the playoff run. So I think that makes up for not having Lane Kiffin. And in fact, the offense has been even better since Lane Kiffin left. So maybe he's been kind of unleashed a little bit, Charlie Weiss Jr. But the Miami D line is exceptional.
Yeah.
Ruben Bain, Mesidor, etc. Can Chambliss evade the rush long enough to make plays downfield? Or is he just going to get sacked a bunch of times? Because I don't think Ole Miss can really block Miami. So they're going to need a lot of quick hitters. They're going to need they have really good receivers. They're going to need them to make plays in space. And they're going to need to move the pocket and hope that they can complete enough downfield passes to make up for the sacks and other mayhem that Miami causes. And they got to avoid, turning the ball over. My question is, can Ole Miss run the ball? Kejuan Lacey had over 1,400 yards this year, 980 yards after contact, which is great. But Ole Miss only had the 85th best run blocking O-line by Pro Football Focus. So my fear is that Kejuan Lacey is going to be doing it by himself because they're not going to be able to block. And Ole Miss is going to have to abandon the running game. And when they abandon the running game, the Miami D-line is going to get home and cause absolute havoc. So I think it's something like Miami 20, or I'd say Miami 30, Ole Miss let's say 21.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be a weird thing where they miss where they go for 2 and miss it at one time or something. I don't know. But I think it's a 2-score game. I think it's 9 points, 10 points, something like that.
I think, I think it's going to me, the score prediction I'm going to have, I don't think it's going to reflect the game. It's going to look close. I think it is going to, the point total is going to be close, but I don't think it's going to, on the field, look like that close of a game. I trust Carson Beck's experience. I think he's been in this position before. I think he's going to handle it very well. I also just trust Mark Fletcher Jr., man. I think if you
he's the key.
He is.
I mean, he's so good at running back, and they have an actual offensive line in front of him.
Exactly. So that, to me, right there, it's just Miami on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. That's all I need to know, and I think that they're going to be able to dominate. I think the score isn't going to be that high. I have Miami 24 to Ole Miss 21 as well. But I think that I think some of those points for Ole Miss are going to come late in the game. I don't think it's going to be I
don't think it's going to be that close.
No, I don't. I think it's going to look like Miami just dominates the whole time. It'll end up being close, but I don't think it's going to be. Miami's going to be in control the whole time.
I also think Miami's going to score on either defense or special teams.
Yeah,
I'm planting my flag there.
I can see that. Yeah.
I just think they're too strong up front, and we're going to be looking at probably a Miami versus either Oregon or Indiana national title.
That's my expectation.
That is what I think is going to happen. I will be shocked if Ole Miss wins.
Yeah.
I will be excited to watch the Paul Feinbaum reaction when they do lose.
And we're going to help him move out. So
we are.
We just have to tell us
we got the bags. We said we'll help pack the bags, Paul.
Absolutely.
We're happy. We will get down there. Just let us know sooner than later. I do have some obligations later in the month.
Yes. But
so
I'll move some things around for you, though, buddy.
We'll do it. We'll make time.
Yeah. No problem. All right, man.
All right. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Yes. As always, if you want to find We Live for Saturday, you can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Podcast Addict. You can find us on Twitter at We Live for B1GSat. You can find Mike here at Alibaba26. You can find me, John, at Norwegian Gopher. And you can email us, We Live for Saturday, B1G@gmail.com.
Awesome. All right. Well, good luck to both Indiana and Oregon. Should be a great matchup. And we will we'll do a review pod sometime this weekend. And then probably another preview pod before the title game, because then there's no more football until August.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. So we're going to try to get as many podcasts as we can in about all this stuff. We can. And then, before we have to move on to the long off season.
There you go.
Which we're going to have a lot of fun in the off season.
We will.
Don't you worry. We're going to keep it going around here at We Live for Saturday. We're going to make it a good time. Anyway, we got to get out of here. I know John's got to run. Yep. Thank you, everyone, for listening, for checking it out. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That helps us a lot. And we will see you in the next one.